This surprisingly grim follow-up to last year's dystopian near-future fantasy escapes the home invasion confines of the original to take to the streets of the city, where chaos once again reigns during an annual 12-hour free-for-all in which crime, including murder, is temporarily rendered legal. A bedraggled group find themselves huddled together in downtown LA, where vigilante gangs, mysterious hitmen, and wealthy scumbags wreak violent havoc. The title may imply heightened scope and stakes, but only the premise is out of order in The Purge Anarchy, a swiftly delivered, surprise-free sequel to 2013's economical sleeper hit. Moving out of the home and into the streets, writer-director James' noisy follow-up shifts genre gears slightly, largely abandoning domestic invasion horror for an urban thriller template that notionally expands on the first film's sketchy class satire. Success, however, has bred self-seriousness in the probable franchisee as Anarchy uses an expanded running time to pontificate emptily on the socio-political implications of its still ludicrous allegorical setup, a future America in which all crime is legalized for one night, a year, at the expense of any whooping B-movie Jaws. Nevertheless, considering the scarcity of comparable genre fare in theaters, plus the first film's growing profile in ancillary, this nasty annual event is probably good for at least one more year. Interestingly, The Purge opened rapidly in Blighty before landing with a bigger bang in the US, where the home audience evidently found its opera state of the nation subtext more resonant, at least to the tune of a $64 million, a figure 20 times larger than its budget. From that outcome, the director and his producers have smartly concluded that the original's high concept was a drew crowds and have upped the America-centric social panic in the new film's script. The first film's moderate star power, for one thing, has been dimmed further. Only one member of the original ensemble remains, while fine character actors Frank Grillo and Carmen Ejogo take the lead. That concept, however, remains as much a sticking point as it is a selling point, suitable for lewd exploitation fare, but undermining the credibility of the director's creation as the extreme social tract it clearly wishes to be. Rather than focusing on one domestic unit affected by the purge, now in its sixth year, we are told the director divides his attention among five characters, some more carefully etched than others. The most convincing and sympathetic of them are hard-up single mother Eva and her teenage daughter Callie, whose plans for quietly surviving the night indoors take a grim turn when they discover that Eva's elderly father has sold his life to an organization that arranges private purging parties for the wealthy. A grotesque extension of the film's argument that the purge was initiated in the interest of redistributing wealth upward. When Eva and Callie are captured by a masked gang of purgers, it's left to enigmatic lone wolf gunman Leo to rescue the woman and shepherd them to safety through the death-ridden streets of Los Angeles. Leo, as we already know and Eva eventually surmises, is a sergeant out of revenge against those responsible for his young son's recent death. The trio are joined in their long night's journey into day by a stranded bickering couple who have been tormented by the same ominous gang and seem sufficiently indistinct in their characterization to be an easy bet for first casualty pundits. Quite why these particular individuals have been targeted is never explained in the script. That they wind up in the same car is a handy dramatic convenience. For all the philosophical and metaphorical shortcomings of his script, however, the director is an efficient orchestrator of the action. Working once more with cinematographer, the director keeps the proceedings at a consistently discomforting level of tension, even if the film's arsenal of shocks is as limited as its weaponry is shudderingly diverse. Hence, I would love to rate this movie a 9.5 out of 10 because of its even better nature than the previous. And that's how sequels should be. See you around with another update. Till then, take care guys.